friends, welcome back to Call Me After Coffee. My name is Bree. If you're new here, welcome. If you've been around for a while, thanks for coming back. Today I'm going to be talking about what I read in October, and I'm very excited that I did beat my 3-book goal. I actually ended up reading 4 and a little bit of another one. So I'm going to start with the a little bit because I have finally, I know, Michael, I know you're going like, yes, you finally picked it back up. I know. I finally picked back up Words of Radiance, and surprise, surprise, I still love it. It's so good. I just don't want to put it down. I didn't realize how much I was craving fantasy when I'd been reading a lot of other things, so I'm very excited, and I'm going to be focusing on this one a lot throughout November, but that's for another video. I read another almost 200 pages of this in October, and I have finally passed the 700 page mark. And when your book is 1,300 pages, passing the 700 page mark or the halfway-ish mark, 650 or whatever, is a really big stinking deal when it's a really big stinking book. Anyway, I can't say too much about this because it is the second book in the series. I, because of who I am as a person, already pre-ordered book 4, so I'm very excited for that to come, even though I still have to read book 3. But I am jumping back into Words of Radiance. I am willing myself to finish this by the end of the year, so I'm gonna try and pay a lot of close attention to it this month and next. But very excited to be back in this story with these characters. Like, so good, so good. Next on the pile was a little bit of a disappointment for me. By no means would I say that Daughter of the Reich is a bad book. Like, was it badly written? Heck no. It was mostly just that I was expecting the story to be something different, and so I was a little more gentle with my rating because quality-wise, great story, great character. I did enjoy it once I wrapped my head around where the story was going, and I don't want to say anything really because I don't want to spoil it. But essentially it was not what I thought it was going to be. What I can say is I thought this was set during World War II, and this is more of the lead up before the war actually started. I loved the commentary between like Nazi ideology and kind of showing how systematically the government put things in place to essentially brainwash the public, and that is what happened during those times. They just little piece by little piece stripped people of their dignity and their rights until obviously it led to the Holocaust, and that is a very scary thought. But I loved what the author did with that part. I loved how she explained it, and I did like our main character. Like I said, there were things in the story that I didn't personally like, but I think a lot of people would enjoy this. I did give this one 4 stars. I would definitely recommend giving it a try because I, like I said, do think a lot of people would enjoy this story. I just, as I said, didn't love it like I wanted to. Like I thought it was going to be a little bit different. But it was still really good. It was a really good book. It was quite long, like it's over 500 pages, I think, or what is this? Like, yeah, 510 pages. It's quite long, but it reads quite quickly. Like I read the last half of it in like one evening, I think. So Daughter of the Reich was not what I thought it was going to be, but it was still very well done and very well written, and I will definitely be looking out for anything else Louise Fine comes out with. The next one is another historical fiction, and this is The War That Saved My Life by Kimberly Brubaker Bradley. Oh, 2 for 2. We're doing good. Okay, so this is a book that has been on my shelves for over a year now, I think. I bought both of them at the same time. I think I bought them last year. And it was one of those ones where it's like, why haven't I picked this one up yet? I loved this story. I loved the characters. I loved Ada. I loved her little brother, Jamie. I loved Susan, like the caretaker. I loved this book so much, and I can't wait to read the second one. I hope that I love it just as much as the first one. I literally like was ugly sobbing happy tears at the end of this book, and it was just like, it was so wholesome and sweet. And you guys know I love me some found family aspects, so this one was 5 stars all the way across the board. Absolutely loved it. Definitely a great middle grade. Definitely something I'm gonna share with my little ones at some point. I'm not sure when, but at some point I will be sharing this with them. And I just really enjoyed it. I feel like I don't have a lot extra to say because it is middle grade. It's quite a simple story, and like it's predictable, but like in the most wholesome, sweet, you just want to keep turning pages and like feel all the feels kind of way. I just love this book so much. Next, I'm going to pop a picture up somewhere, wherever it fits best, beside me. The next book that I read was A Monster Calls by Patrick Ness, and I actually kind of buddy read this one with my friend Keisha. A Book Like You, I think is what it's called. I will link her channel down below. She's super sweet. I love her. But we both read this book, not right at the same time, but like she read it like a couple of days and then a couple days later I read it. And I read this book within 24 hours. I sobbed. Like the last 20% of this book, sob fest. Just like, I don't know how else to put it. I was just a mess. I sent a couple people a picture of me just crying. If I still have it on my phone, I will put that picture up too, because you guys deserve to see that. But it was so good. It was so good, the way it dealt with grief, or the way that children really are affected when you shield them from certain aspects of like death and things, when you don't prepare them well enough, like how that comes out. But grief is explored and loss is explored, and it's just so heartbreaking and heartwarming, and it kind of shows you different like a family dynamic and how different people deal with different facets of this situation that's happening in the book. I adored this story. Like, it might be one of my favorite books of all time. I have a picture up beside me right now because I don't have a physical copy yet. I read it on an ebook on my phone, and I loved it so much. I needed to own myself a physical copy because I want to reread it at some point and just like break my heart all over again. I also gave this one 5 stars. I loved this book. I feel like I'm probably the last person on the planet to have read it, but I adored it. And I was talking to a couple other friends who have also read it, and they all loved it as well. And we were just like having a gush fest over how much this book like broke our hearts, but how great it was. Also, the illustrations are really neat. So yeah, A Monster Calls, super loved it. Want to reread it at some point. My heart. Then I have Mr. Flood's Last Resort, aka The Hoarder, by Jess Kidd. Oh, so far, she's 2 for 2, has not done me wrong. I can't wait to read Himself. I have a feeling I'm gonna love that one too, just because I love the way that she writes her books. They are these like quirky mysteries, and they have really interesting characters. Like, the main character in this kind of reminds me of like an Uva kind of character, if you've read A Man Called Uva. He's not quite the same character, but you know that like grumpy old man, like I love like grumpy old people in books. I just do. But I can't remember our main character, Maud. Our main character is Maud Drennan. I loved her character. There's a really great cast of side characters. You guys can hear some noise in the background. I'm sorry. Homeschool mom, kids are always in the house. But anyway, I loved Mr. Flood's Last Resort. Her books are like this kind of magical realism. Like, there's always like or paranormal, I guess. There's like either a magical or like a paranormal aspect, at least in the 2 books that I have read. So there's kind of this like a little bit creepy side to things, eerie things kind of happen. You have to sort of suspend disbelief a little bit at points in the story, but she does it in such a seamless way that I'm not going like, wait, what is going on? Like, I'm not confused about it. It's just like, okay, like this is where we're going. This is what's happening. But I loved this story, and I loved it like as much as Things and Jars, I think. Maybe not quite as much, but this was a 5-star read, and so was that one. I love her books. Can't wait to read Himself. And as far as I know, she has a middle grade coming out soon, which I can't remember what it's about, so I'm not entirely sure if I'm interested in it or not plot-wise. But because I love her writing, I'm gonna say I'm interested in it because I love her writing, and I'm curious to see how she would tackle a middle grade with this like quirky kind of style that she has. Anyway, this book, I don't really know how to explain aside from old man, creepy old house. Maud Drennan is his caretaker. The old man is like an extreme hoarder, and she goes into his house to try and clean the house and take care of him and stuff because he's elderly, and then like weird things happen. And that's about all I can say about this one. But I loved it. It was so much fun. My friend Jennifer on Instagram was actually reading this, I think at the same time, like accidental buddy read, and it was so great, and she loved it as much as I did, and I just thought it was great. And then just a last little thing, because I know like the last time I shared, you guys were excited. I didn't finish any like full books or anything. I have been continuing to work my way through Matthew, which I've been doing for a while now. I kind of took a pause, went back to Micah, read all of Micah, and then I went back to Matthew, and I have just been kind of picking my way through slowly but surely. I think I'm at like chapter 15 at this point. That's the wrong page. I have a lot of bookmarks in here. Yeah, I'm almost done chapter 15, and obviously, I mean, it's the Bible, so there isn't a lot for me to say, but for anyone who's interested, that's what I'm up to in the big guy. I don't know if I showed you guys this, I don't know if any of you care, but I actually added tabs in for all the books, so I can easily flip to each thing. And this took me so long because I hand wrote them all and taped them all in individually, but I love how it turned out, and it makes it so easy for me to just like flip around. So anyway, that's what I'm up to in that, and that's everything that I read in October. It was a really good month. I didn't get to as much as I wanted because there was like a solid 5 days that I didn't read, but I still beat my 3-book goal. I hit my yearly goal, which was 36 books. I think I'm at like 38 or 39 now, so I'm very excited. And I am super excited to see where we get in November and where November takes us with more book selections. Leave me a comment down below. Let me know what was your favorite book that you read in October. Were any of these books that were on your radar? Are you interested in them? Did you love or hate any of them? Totally let me know down below. I'm very interested in what you guys have to say. And while you're down there, if you haven't already, please subscribe. I am trying to upload most Mondays and Thursdays, but schedules are just not working for me very well right now. So I do try to upload twice a week, and I'm gonna try and keep doing that. Thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to you guys all next time.